Good evening, young Padawan and Padawans. It is I, JT, and it is Monday night, so you know what that means. Yes, it is time for two Ewoks in one. Yeah, buddy. The Geek and the Redneck, Sully, and myself are talking about Bad Batch Season 3, the final season of Bad Batch. Tonight, episodes 11 and 12 are going to be what we're reviewing. So do me a favor, grab your favorite adult beverage or whatever it is that you might like to drink. Something to snack on. Sit back in that nice big giant beanbag chair, relax, and enjoy the ride. Sully, it's all yours.
Oh, I thank you, sir. Hello, everybody, and welcome to Two Ewoks in the Park. Like JT said, we are tackling the Bad Batch Season 3. Yay! And we've got 5 episodes left. But after today, we'll only have 3, which means, because Memorial Day is next week, we will be taking a week off. But when we come back, we will be knocking out the final 3 episodes all in one shot. So it's going to be close. But it's going to be awesome.
A whole lot of talking going on.
Yeah, whole lot of talking, and we're going to do whatever we need to do in order to get it right, because that's how we roll.
It's very bumpily.
Very bumpily. All the time, anyway. All the time. So, sit back, relax, have some fun with us, join in on the conversation as we tackle episode 11?
Yes.
11. Ooh. 11.
Double digits, baby. Double digits.
Double digits. Well, before we start 11, I will say this.
Yes.
Between the 2 episodes, 11 and 12, just before, JT actually sent me a message stating, I love Omega. As a matter of fact, I will read you the exact words, because I have them right here. Omega just continues to amaze me. And you're going to see why. Because with this first episode, for episode 11, Point of No Return is what it's called. Point of No Return.
The point of no return.
Now,
sorry.
When it comes to the point of no return, the plot is simple as that. The Empire is closing in on the Bad Batch and Omega. That's it. Well, at the same time, you're probably saying to yourself, well, how? Well, if you remember from the previous episode, Asajj Ventress flat out told them, the Empire's looking for you. The Empire will find you.
Yep.
You need to leave this place. She told them that they needed to leave.
Mm-hmm.
Told them. Well.
Time to get the fuck out of Dodge, guys.
Fire in the hole.
Right.
Well, while that's all well and good, it's all happening, the beginning of the episode centers on Phee Genoa. Now, if you don't remember who Phee Genoa is, that is the character voiced by Wanda Sykes. She is a friend to the Bad Batch and is a pirate. She's a pirate. We like the pirates.
We like this pirate.
Yes, this pirate is very good. Well, we see her land on we see her land her ship, the Providence, on a lunar base, and it's kind of like an airless moon. Like, you can't just go out and walk. But she does remind her droid, follow the instructions, do what you need to do, and just whatever. Get it fixed, do whatever, and make it so.
Next time, don't argue with me when I tell you to root through the goo.
Yeah.
The green goo. Green goo.
Go through the green goo. Well, the droid says, all right, I'll fix your ship. Don't worry. It's all going to be good. And she while she's there, she's telling another droid, refuel the ship, do what we need to do. But here's where things get interesting, because Clone Trooper X, or CX2, sneaks aboard her ship.
It sets off her car alarm.
Well, yeah. I mean, you can see that for someone like Fee, you're going to have those contingencies. Because, yes, she is a pirate, but she's also technically a mercenary.
Mm-hmm.
She goes where the money is. Simple as that.
Yep.
Because in the galaxy, money makes the world go round. We know this, especially if you have no ties to the Empire. But as a mercenary and a smuggler, a pirate, any type of background like that, you're going to go where the money is. It doesn't matter if it's coming from the Rebel Alliance. It doesn't matter if it's coming from the Empire in the future. It doesn't matter if it's the First Order or if it's the New Republic. It doesn't matter. You go where the money is. We've seen this time and time again, especially with bounty hunters. They go for the money. Well, while she's there and the ship is refueling and all of that good stuff, Vera Lynn wants to know if she's a day early. Absolutely not. We do a podcast on Mondays and Tuesdays, but it's Star Wars related, so yay! Hence the sign. 2 Ewoks in the park.
In the park.
2 Ewoks in the park, which was
2 Ewoks in the park.
Which was so nicely named by the viewers and the punchers. But while there and they're refueling the ship, like JT said, the burglar alarm goes off because CX2 is trying to get information of where she last was, because he's trying to find Omega. He's trying to find Omega, trying to find the Bad Batch, trying to do what he needs to do in order to bring Omega to Tantus. The cat is annoying you. Meow. Meow. Vera Lynn says, I have zero problem with Star Wars. Good. I'm glad, buddy. I really am. I'm glad, because you like the show. We break down the Bad Batch. We're on episode 11, so if you're behind. Spoilers!
Tough noogies.
Spoilers. Well, while the alarm is going off, Ollie makes a mistake because he thinks, hey, maybe it's a refueling problem, and changes the pump. Only when he finishes refueling, CX2 decides, well, I got the data I need. I'm out of here.
Time to go.
Time to go. And Genoa senses something. She senses something. She's got that like sixth sense about things.
Mm-hmm. Well, just like Hunter does.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
You walk out and just something doesn't feel right. You know, it's like you walk into a bar or something and you just get that gut feeling about somebody.
Yeah.
Kind of like that, you know?
Now, she does go exploring in her ship to see what's going on and doesn't see anything. When she gets the bill for the fuel, 1,600 credits.
1,600 freaking credits. That's a lot of freaking money.
Well, you got to remember, it's also a starship. So, you got to have... You gotta have the full tank of gas.
Yes,
You
yes.
know?
You don't want to. You don't want to try to run an electric spaceship.
No,
Okay, you want a gas powered one.
no. you need fuel. You need
Yes.
jet fuel, that type of thing. Well, she checks her cargo hold, but CX2 is hiding behind a crate and then escapes the ship without being seen and gets to his own ship. And while he's in the ship, he's taking the data from her Navi computer and decrypting it. So he can find out exactly where she's been, how many times, and all of that other good stuff. I've always thought the Nav computer was always a bad thing in Star Wars. Good to have because, without it, you can't navigate hyperspace. You might, blow yourself into a star or a supernova or something along those lines. So you have to have it. You have to. Well, he tells Commander Scorch, makes a nice little phone call to him, and goes, you know, for the record, everything that Sid told us was right on the money. Was right on the money. So, yes, we don't see Sid, but clearly she's turned the Bad Batch in because technically, I believe it was season 2 where they wanted to walk away from Sid and she wanted them to stay. So now she's butthurt and is going to do whatever she needs to do for the Empire to get what they're looking for.
Get money. It's all about the money for her.
Oh, without a doubt.
You know, and you know they're paying for information.
It's all about
especially
money.
About Bad Batch and Omega.
All about the money. Bring on the money. Show me the money. Show me the money. Just show me the money. Well, if that doesn't work, Sid will stab you in the back, which people have warned them about.
Mm-hmm. Yep, they had when they went to do their first mission for her.
Yep.
The two guys that were in the bar were like, watch your backs, boys. Watch your backs.
You don't want to get involved in that stuff. Well, while he's going through all the data from her Navicomputer, CX2 finds that she has visited Pabu a lot. And he went, that's where I need to go. Makes sense.
And it's on the outer rim.
Right on the outer rim. Far reaches from the Empire so they can't touch her. And they do what they need to do. Well, at this time, the boys and Omega are starting to pack up. They're getting ready to leave because they need to. As Asajj Ventress said, Empire's coming for you. You got to get out of here. You got to leave. Well, that sparked them into packing up the ship, getting supplies, doing what they need to do. And it's only going to be a temporary thing. They even said that. It's only temporary. Omega was pissed, but she also understands. So Hunter and Wrecker, as they're loading the ship, are doing what they need to do. Crosshair is getting rations. They're pulling their part, you know. However, Mox, Deke, and Stack, who we've seen before, previous episodes in the beginning of the season, who tried to steal the ship, they're having ice cones. They're just, you know, having fun, you know, chilling out. When Liana serves Batcher some meat, a skewer full of meat. Yay! And Liana is also talking to Omega because she doesn't want Omega to leave. Omega, very upset about this. Very upset.
Definitely not happy about leaving.
Well, you know what? I think in the long run, I think Omega's actually conflicted.
Yeah.
She's not happy she's leaving. And she also wants to stand and fight. But she also knows that if she doesn't leave, Pabu is in for a world of hurt.
Yeah.
World of hurt.
Well, and I like what she said, because when they went to her and her friend, her friend showed her a place on a shelf.
Yes.
And she puts the doll that Wrecker gave her.
Yes.
And Tech's goggles.
Yes.
On the shelf. And I was kind of, well, that's kind of a weird thing to leave there. But then she said, this is the first place where we've ever felt at home.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, and I want to leave these here as, I guess, kind of tribute to that.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. No. And even with that, she also said that it would be a reminder for them that they were there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And we're going to come back. We will.
Yeah.
So,
Well, her friend asked her, says, "Well, you're coming back, aren't you?" And Omega's like, "I hope so."
I hope so. I do.
That's the
I hope so.
plan.
So, and if you think about it, this is really the first friend that's a kid that Omega is friends with. Because otherwise, she's been with adults. She's been doing bounty jobs. She's been training to be a soldier.
But there was the one that they ran into when they were running weapons.
Yes.
I think it was in season 2 that she befriended. The girl that she befriended was the daughter of the ambassador and his wife.
Yep.
A while back. I mean, they became friends, and them working together actually made it to where they were successful with raiding the new building that was on the planet.
Yes.
The new mine that was there and all that. I can't think of all of it, but there was that girl. That was really the first one that she had any real connection with. But the connection that she has with this girl is, different worlds. Apples and oranges between the two.
They're besties on this one.
Yes.
This one, they're besties, and rightfully so. Rightfully so. Well, as she leaves these on the shelf, she does say, "I hope to come back." She does. She hopes. Because it's her home now. She could be a kid there. Well, at the same time, Wrecker is being a grump, which is rare of Wrecker to do. But he happens because, again, Wrecker's like a big kid. And he's basically grumbling about all the amount of kits and, jokes about leaving Gonky behind. And
I don't think there's enough room for all this stuff on here.
Yeah. And that's when a sensor goes off on the Marauder. Begins pinging and ringing all over the place. And it's basically a warning that CX2 is approaching the island.
The only problem is nobody heard it.
Nope, nobody heard it because why?
Because CX2 used some kind of a cloaking system on his ship that shut it down just before Wrecker walked into the ship with another box.
Yep. But at the same time, and this is where things get really cool, Hunter senses something. Something ain't right. He's getting that feeling, that gut feeling, and he calls to Omega, "Get ready to leave. We got to get out of here.
Yeah.
Come to the ship." She replies, "I'm on my way." Doing what she needs to do. Well, it gets interesting from here. And this...
Very much so.
This next... This is what? You're probably, 10 minutes in now of the episode, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Which means the whole last part of this episode. I'll give it credit. Maybe we're 15 minutes in. We're halfway in. Okay? Halfway into the episode.
Mm-hmm.
And even though CX2 lands in the cave that Asajj Ventress was in, by the way, he starts climbing. He's climbing to where he needs to be in order to find Omega. Which makes things extremely interesting. Because not only that, he calls Scorch, says, "The target's here. Come and get her."
Yeah, he's like, the guy that he talked to is like, acquire the asset.
Yep.
And stand by. We're sending backup to you, and all that. And it's like,
but he also said the magic words. "Do not harm target."
don't mess up like last time.
Yeah. Because otherwise, you're gonna be bad. It's gonna be bad. But he also asks what happens if the clones get involved, and he was also given orders to eliminate them no matter what.
Yep. Take care of them if they get in the way.
If they get in the way, shoot their ass. Well,
yep.
Shepard and Liana are down at the Marauder with the Bad Batch and Omega. They're saying goodbyes. They're giving their hugs. They're doing whatever they need to do. But CX2 is a little further away with a long-range blaster. Not only does he have a long-range blaster, but he shoots at the ship and hits rigged explosives that he personally put on those ships.
Well, he shot the explosives onto the ship.
Yep. And boom.
And, luckily,
yep,
Wrecker hears
Ba-dunk.
the beeping from one of them and turns and looks and sees it.
Yeah, but you know what? He saved Gonky.
Yep, he was actually walking into the ship.
Yes.
With a box, and he threw the box down, turned around, grabbed Gonky, and started to run. Ship blows up, sends him and Gonky into the water.
Yep.
And of course, Hunter and Omega and Crosshair.
You got it.
You start hauling ass towards it. It popped in my head, man. I'm not gonna say it, but it popped in my head.
You got it, though.
Yes, I did. But they come a running. What I thought was cool was that the island people, had already gotten out, gotten Wrecker and the robot, brought them back to shore by the time Hunter, Crosshair, and Omega got down to the dock.
Yep. What they also do is Omega tells Omega is with Wrecker, and Hunter tells Mox and Stack to get Wrecker up to the house.
Yep.
So
have Blue look at him and all that.
Yeah, so AZ3 can take a look and make sure everything's good to go and do whatever. Well, at the same point in time, though, Crosshair notices a Venator class Star Destroyer.
Well, everybody notices it because it comes in with two giant freaking spotlights.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody goes, huh?
They're all looking up, and they are everywhere. LAT gunships, clone commandos, TK stormtroopers, they are all invading. Boom.
Ships coming down and dropping people off.
And they start going through the town. They start collecting people. They start, doing what they need to do. They're cutting off every known escape route that you could possibly think of from the town to escape. Now, mind you, this is just an island.
CX2 was really smart about that, though.
Yeah.
Because as the troops came in, he's like, destroy every ship and boat and anything down there at the docks.
Take it all out.
Like you said, we want to remove any chance of escape.
Yep.
And not just destroy any of the ships that are down, or the boats and stuff that are down there, but any ship you see.
Yes.
Any starship that you see. Destroy them all.
Yes.
We want to take away any possible escape route that they have to get off of this island.
Yeah.
Most people I wouldn't have thought of that.
Yeah, I don't think I would have thought of it either, but...
when you flood the place like that, you think there's no way that they could get away. We would catch them before they would get there or as they got there.
True.
But he's like, no, you know what? We're not even taking the chance.
And if you think about it, it's not like they can just, go through underground tunnels because, again, this is an island. The town is built around the mountain.
Yep.
So things are going to happen. Omega, however, is blaming herself as the destruction is happening all around her and they're watching. And Hunter is like, no, kid, no, this is absolutely not your fault.
I loved what he said. This is, it's not your fault. This is the Empire's fault.
The Empire. Yes.
Which yeah, she might kind of agree with it, but at the same time, in the back of her head, she said, like, no, this is happening because they're coming after me.
Yeah. Well, Omega is just, down in the dumps doing whatever, she's a kid. And believe me, kids are very moldable. So yeah, she's going to feel the guilt. But Crosshair says, listen, the Empire's blocking our comms. We can't get off the island. We need to get one of their ships so we can get a call out to Echo.
Yeah.
Which would make perfect sense. Echo is part of the resistance. Oh, sorry, the rebellion. Resistance is later. The rebellion.
Well, and he's also still part of the Bad Batch. Even though he's not there, he's still one of their teammates.
Yes, absolutely. So Hunter takes it upon himself to go and say, nope, I got this. You guys stay here. You guys stay here. I got this. Well, CX2 is still looking for Omega because now, even though he knows she's there, can't find her. Doesn't know where she is. She's in one of the houses. The Empire attacked the village unprovoked. And like,
and this is the thing I liked about the mayor. He's like, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah. What's wrong with you?
You attack us for no reason, or, unprovoked for no reason. You come in, you destroy all of our ways of supporting ourselves.
Yep.
What the hell, I might as well say, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
He's like, what the hell do you think you're doing?
Yeah. But CX2 is like, no, hold it. All I did was cut off a means of escape. But
I can do a lot worse.
Yeah. That line was that was
he
like
subtly threatened him.
That was gut wrenching the way he did it. I mean, gut wrenching.
He's like, until we find her.
Yeah.
Or we're here because you're harboring a fugitive from the Empire.
Yup.
And until we find her, watch your island burn.
Yep.
Those words, dude, literally gave me chills.
Yeah.
When he said,
oh, yeah. It was like, whoa. Well, two stormtroopers restrain him, and Crosshair, Omega, and Batcher are hiding in a stairwell. Some stormtroopers are coming in. They're manhandling a couple of protests, a couple of people who are in their own homes and protesting, and no, you can't come in, and they're kicking them out and doing what they need to. Batcher then attacks the stormtroopers.
And we need to know that he escapes from Omega and Crosshair when he did that. Because Omega was trying to hold him back and keep him quiet so that they wouldn't find them.
Yep.
But Batcher does what any normal dog would do.
Absolutely. I'm going to defend the people that I know.
Yep.
And Crosshair was very on it. Like, she can handle herself. She's good.
Yep.
She'll be all right. So the two of them go to find shelter. Liana and AZI-3 are with them. Come on, let's go. Liana scared. Omega's like, everything will be okay. Everything will be okay. AZ's like, Wrecker's unconscious. His vitals are good. He's healthy. He'll be all right. Wrecker is groaning. He's starting to wake up. Like, what happened? And the stormtroopers are terrorizing everybody.
Yep.
Breaking down doors, breaking windows, pulling people out of their homes, searching their homes, doing what they need to do. And Hunter decides, we're going to start doing this my way. And he ambushes a stormtrooper and breaks his neck. And
his knee.
Oh yeah, no, he gets him. He gets him good.
Knee and neck.
That's for sure. Well, first and foremost, the way Hunter did it, holy crap. Just holy crap.
True.
He
Not
did
the
it
word
like a
that I want, but the
pencil.
only one I can think of. True vigilante style.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, he got him good. Got him real good. But then a LAT gunship lands nearby, and ho, looky, I got a ship.
Right place, right time.
Right? So as the troops disperse and they do whatever, Hunter fights off a sentry, uses a crate, jumps onto the ship, and throws 2 stormtroopers off it.
That was awesome. I know it sounds bad, but that was freaking awesome.
Get out of my way. Whee! Kaboom. Well, while that's also happening, the pilot's trying to get Hunter out, so he starts spinning and doing what he needs to. And Omega and Crosshair are watching the entire thing happen. The entire thing.
Yeah.
Pilot calls in, hey, just so you know, ship's compromised. Well,
And I can't shake him.
CX2 decides to shoot the pilot. I thought that was great. I really
That
did.
was and you know, the guy, it was a hell of a shot.
Big time.
You know, moving target, unpredictable flight path, the whole freaking 9 yards, and he's still one shot right in the neck.
Right in the neck, and boom, done. Just done. Well, the good thing is Hunter survives. He swims to shore. Crosshair spots him with his binoculars. And that's when things get a little more interesting. And this is where I believe JT's opinion of Omega just went through the roof.
Yeah, I mean, I've always had a high opinion of Omega just because of her drive to go back and help.
Yep.
You know, and her drive to do that, and her drive to do the right thing, and her arguing with the entire Bad Batch about doing something, and making a group of hardened warriors
Correct.
go, okay, whatever you say.
Well,
so I've always held her in high regard. But what she does here is just simply amazing, because she's been in Tantus, just like Crosshair has.
yeah.
And it's interesting that it was Crosshair and her having this conversation.
It worked.
And yeah, it was perfect. But she's like, look, they're going to destroy this eye. She told Crosshair to turn her in.
Well, she offered to turn herself in.
Yeah, she says, I'm going to turn myself in. And Crosshair's like, no, we're not going to let that. We're not going to do that. She's like, you know, you're going to be taken to Tantus and we'll never see you again. She's like, well, this is our last chance.
Yeah.
Okay. This is our last chance to be able to get the coordinates for Tantus. I'll keep my comm device on me.
Yep.
And you guys can track the comm device. And Crosshair's like, no, because they're going to scan you and they're going to find it. And her mind working the way it does, she's like, well, then you follow me to whatever ship they take me or put me into and shoot a secondary tracking device on it. You could still track it that way.
Yes, absolutely.
And Crosshair's like, nah, there's too many unknowns. And this is a realistic statement when he says it. There's too many unknown factors to know that this is going to work. And she's like, it's the only chance we have.
Yeah.
If I don't do this, they are going to destroy this island and kill everyone here.
Yeah. Well, don't forget, Hunter is also like, no, we need to stick to the plan. We need to call Echo. That was the original plan.
I don't think Hunter was ever a part of that conversation. I don't think Hunter found out about what happened with her until he rejoined Wrecker and Crosshair in the room.
No, it was over their comms.
Was it? Did it go over their comms?
Yeah, it was over
because
their
I
comms.
never heard Hunter say anything.
Yep. Well,
But still, just the fact that she is willing to sacrifice herself and go back to a place that she knows,
yep,
is going to be holy hell for her.
it is.
It takes her stock and just sends it out of orbit.
Yeah, and you got to remember also the fact of the matter is that with all those unknowns, not only is she going to be in trouble, but Crosshair is also having issues with shooting still.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. But now we have the troops rounding up a lot of different civilians, and now they're planning to torch buildings.
Yep.
And that's when Omega decides enough's enough, and she walks out.
Got to do it.
She surrenders.
Got to do it.
CX2 orders his stormtroopers and commandos to stay alert.
I like what he said. Stay alert. I've taken out 2 of the guys with her, but not the third.
Not the third. Yep.
Yep. Hunter is the only one that's... Well, actually, no. Crosshair would be the only one left because he blew up Wrecker and he shot Hunter out of the sky.
Correct. But as Omega is going up to CX2, she tells him, leave everyone alone. They are innocent. It's me you want.
You never should have come here in the first place.
Yeah. Take me, leave them. So he handcuffs her, orders that they scan her for tracking devices, and he tells her that she shouldn't have come to Pabu and takes the comlink. Crosshair is dodging patrols. Hunter is on shore.
Still just made it to shore.
But Batcher is on the beach and helps him up.
Yep.
Omega is now being led through the burning docks. CX2 summons his ship and marches her up the plank. Crosshair goes to shoot an extra beacon.
And all of a sudden you hear, over there.
The stormtroopers start attacking him. He does, however, fight them off. But he still tries to shoot that beacon.
The tracker.
To get to the ship. And he just misses it.
You watch the tracker, he fires, and you watch the tracker go like this and go.
It did a nice little arc and just missed it.
Yep.
And that's when he goes off into the sunset and into hyperspace. And Omega is sitting there meditating. She's learning. She's learning.
Mm-hmm. And the only thing he says is target acquired, returning to base.
Yes. Now,
scary word. Scary word.
This episode, this was what, a 26-minute episode, I believe it was, right? It wasn't
23.
a full 23. So it wasn't a full 30 minutes.
No, none of them are.
This was absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
I'm a big fan of when the good guys lose a battle. I am. Because it makes the next few episodes stronger. Because they've already got this defeat on them.
Yeah, you're going to find out what they are.
Yes.
And they haven't lost.
No.
I don't think they have truly lost any engagement that they have gotten into, especially in season 3. Up until now.
Well, you got to remember they did lose Omega in season 2.
Well, yeah, but they didn't. They didn't lose the battle because
right.
They didn't get caught.
Right.
So they lost the battle. They lost one of their men, but they won the battle.
True.
So it's kind of a, yeah, we did. We survived, but we lost this. It just,
For me,
kind of a clip note kind of thing to winning.
for me, this episode, I am giving it 4.75. 4.75. The only thing that it was just a little tiny thing that I wish had happened was I wished someone from the Bad Batch probably would have ended up like Tech. That would have probably pushed it to a 5 of like, you bastards,
So losing one more?
Losing one more would have like, whoa. Now, I understand why they didn't lose one.
Mm-hmm.
I do. But all in all, this episode was absolutely amazing. The story was there. The action was there. Oh my God, we've just gotten our body armor beaten off of us in one quick swoop. Now what do we do? And oh, by the way, we just lost Omega again. For the second time. Not the third time, the second time.
Now, I will contend to you that for this battle, they lost 2 people. Think about it. The only people left standing at the end of the battle were Crosshair.
Yes.
And Omega. For this fight, they lost 50% of their forces.
Well, no, Hunter was still standing.
He was too far away to do anything.
Hey, listen, any crash you can walk away from is a good one.
Very true, very true. But he was out of the battle.
Right. But
there was nothing he could do, just like there was nothing Batcher could have done.
But Omega was taken out of the battle because she sacrificed herself to save her.
And that was the end of the battle.
Which means
she ended the battle by sacrificing herself.
Which means only Crosshair was still standing.
True. So, but I see what you're saying. I see what you're saying 100%. For me, I was actually sitting at like a 4.8. Through up until about the last 5 minutes of the episode.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
To me, it was a great episode. I loved the circumstances of it. I love how everything happened. Watching CX2 do his thing from that perspective.
Yep.
Was amazing. To get onto this island undetected.
Yeah.
Barely, but undetected. Find his target, find Bad Batch, find their ship, blow Wrecker up.
Yep.
Turn around and shoot Hunter out of the freaking sky. And ultimately cause Omega to give herself up.
Yeah.
And like I said, I was at a 4.8 until the conversation between Crosshair and Omega.
So what are you at now?
4.95.
Ooh. Almost a 5.
And it's because of what Omega did.
Yeah. She had the balls.
Knowing what she's going back to, knowing that they're hunting her, and knowing they're hunting her for her blood. Why they want her blood, she doesn't understand. And she still did that in order to save the entire island.
And she did a good job doing
the rest of Bad Batch. Yeah. And, and at the same time, save the rest of Bad Batch. Because if they would have had to kept going, if that would have kept going, Bad Batch would have been wiped out and Omega would have been caught anyway.
Oh, absolutely.
So this way, she's still giving them a chance, a slim chance, but a chance of being able to track her and get the coordinates for Tantus that they need.
Yeah. Oh,
So,
yeah.
4.95 for me.
Hands down, which is good.
One of the best episodes of the series so far, and I have the feeling it's. I don't know if I'm going to be able to. Might actually have to give a 5 by the time this series is over.
I think we can. I have faith in us that eventually there's going to be an episode that's going to be a 5.
Yeah,
but that brings us to episode 12 now.
Yeah.
Woo, boy. This was a good one. This was a good one.
This episode sucks.
Which obviously we with episode 12, we're continuing right from where we left off. CX2 is bringing Omega to Tantus. Leads her down the ramp, and there he is, Hemlock himself on the tarmac, just waiting, and takes her restraints off and does whatever he needs to do, but also compliments Omega for surrendering, which was interesting take.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting take.
He sees things from her side as well.
Yes, he does.
He knows what she's thinking.
Which is a good thing.
Mm-hmm. It's good to know your enemy.
Which is a very, very good thing. You don't normally
can I say
get
something
that.
Real quick?
What's up?
Of all the bad guys,
and there's a lot
in Star Wars. Of all the bad guys in Star Wars, Sith Lords and Darth Vader, and I can't even throw out any other, the Emperor, and everybody else. I can honestly say that I hate Hemlock more than I hate any of the other bad guys in Star Wars, in all of Star Wars.
I could see that. And don't get me wrong, Moff Gideon, he was pretty badass.
Oh yeah, he was nasty. But Moff Gideon at least showed a little bit of emotion. Hemlock does not show any emotion.
No emotion whatsoever.
Not even when he tells Omega, think of her name, the doctor that helped her escape the first time. That's in the cell now.
Oh, Nala Se.
Nala Se. There we go. Even when he tells her, she's in a jail cell, she won't be able to help you escape again. But he says it in a way like, I don't care.
Yeah.
He's more cold-blooded than anybody that we've seen, in my opinion, that we've seen in Star Wars up to this point.
Yeah, and he's pretty brutal. Because now what's happening is he's bringing her through all the main corridors to bring her to, certain areas to say, hey, look what we did while you were gone. Including a turbo lift down to the central lab where Dr. Carr is. Because Dr. Carr has taken over.
It's Amelia. Or Emily. Is it Amelia or Emily?
Emery. Emerie.
Emery, yeah.
Well, he tells Dr. Carr to start testing Omega's midi-chlorian count.
Immediately.
She hesitates, but also, does it. And Omega's like, where's Nala Se? And he goes, oh, she's in prison, and she will not be helping you escape again. Very brutal and honest, but very straightforward, too.
What a good line. Yeah.
Very good.
A very, very good line. And a line that you would expect to hear coming from him.
Oh, absolutely. Well, Hemlock leaves, and as he's leaving, he's like, all right, I will return for the results. And Omega tries to reason with Dr. Carr. And she's like, I have no choice. There's nothing I can do about it. Sorry, kid. You're on your own.
You know you don't have to do this.
Yep. But you're on your own. She takes the sample from Omega and she expresses relief that she's okay and that she's safe.
Yeah. And interesting choice of words.
Yeah. And why?
So glad you are safe. But then Omega looks at her and goes, but am I?
But am I? Am I really safe?
And Dr. Cars just was kind of taken aback by that a little bit because he suddenly remembered what she has seen in episode 10.
Yep. Well, while that's going on, the boys are planning and scheming and doing what they need to, but they still have the Empire there, so they're kind of doing it in hiding. And Hunter and Batcher meet up with Crosshair and Wrecker in their hiding spot. And he says, listen, they're all withdrawing. They're all going to get out of here. Communications are still jammed. Maybe we can still do what we need to do. And Wrecker gets upset with Crosshair. And this is really the first time that Wrecker is angry with him, because Omega allowed herself to get taken back by the Empire. And Crosshair says if she didn't do it, this place would have been destroyed no matter what.
Yeah.
What she did saved us and saved the people on this island.
Yeah.
That's
America's like,
balls.
I understand that, but it still sucks that the Empire has her.
Yeah.
Again.
Yes. But to make matters worse, the Marauder is now destroyed. So they lost their ship, too.
Every form of transportation was destroyed.
And Hunter is it's like, well, not only that, we have no way of finding Tantus either. But then Crosshair goes,
this was interesting.
Wait a second. What about a former vice admiral of the Empire? And they're like, huh? What? And he goes, well, Edmund Rampart may know the coordinates. And then he explains that he sent Nala Se there when the Empire decommissioned Topoka City, which makes sense of how Crosshair would remember.
That was where they arrested him.
Yeah, that's where they arrested him. And Hunter says, well, why didn't you say anything before? What's wrong with you? And he goes, well, it's a place I don't want to go back to. And I don't blame him.
Place I don't want to go back to. And I can see it. I
don't blame him. Well, I mean, the other problem is, and I'm sure you can agree with me on this, Rampart is not really one to be trusted to begin with. He's
and he outright says that. He explains that to him.
Yeah. And he
like,
goes,
Martin,
but Crosshair even says, listen, it's our only play. It's the only thing we have left. We might as well use everything that we can think of.
Yeah.
But before he's able to get into the details of specific things, Batcher barks and Fee, Genoa, and Az come up a trap door that's underneath a table. How they got that in there, I have no idea. But Az says, don't shoot. Our man said, don't shoot. But he also says, he also says that Az found Genoa while scouting. And she's already been briefed on everything. So when Hunter asks how she arrived unseen, she says, I used the hidden caverns. The hidden caverns that Asajj Ventress landed in, CX2 landed in. Yeah, there's hidden caverns under the island. Who would have thought? I had no idea. But Genoa tells Crosshair that Tech told her about him and expects him Sorry, accepts him. Wow, not expects. Accepts him as a friend. And he goes, great, we're going to go get Rampart.
I like her line though. Any fan of Brown Eyes, or any friend of Brown Eyes, is a friend of mine.
Yeah. And then he says, well, now we're going to break into an Imperial labor camp. So we need to go to Erebus. And on Erebus, well,
ooh,
what was that?
That was thunder.
That I heard that.
It just shook the house.
Woo.
Yeah.
JT's getting a little shocking development now.
Yeah.
Lucky you.
Getting a little noisy out here.
Well, on Erebus, they're in a turbo tank. There's a turbo tank that's on a bridge, and it's one of those turbo tanks that kind of does patrols. And Rampart is working in the mining facility. Basically, it's one of those mining facilities that, hey, you're going to be working here while you pay off your debts to the society that you betrayed.
Yeah, prison camp.
Which, if you think about it, is exactly what we saw in Andor. Only different scenario. They were building stuff for a certain, I don't know, Death Star. But if you think about it, you can probably tie it together because the minerals they were mining were probably the minerals they needed in order to build the Death Star. Well, the alien prison foreman is, doing his thing. And, Rampart doesn't like taking orders from him. But while traveling through hyperspace aboard the Providence, Genoa tells the Bad Batch that here's a holomap. I got one. Got it from a contact. We can use this. We can use this to our advantage to figure out where we need to go to get as close to the perimeter as possible because we don't want to be detected. Because if the minute they see us, they're going to shoot us out of the sky, and that's it.
Yeah.
Makes sense because that camp is loaded with weapons.
He's like, no problem. We'll make a stealthy approach.
Yeah. Go through the woods. Take a nice long walk through the woods.
And this is where you have to remember the fact that, one, she's kind of psychotic.
She's a pirate, so she has to be.
And two, there are many, many, many levels and definitions of stealth approach.
Yes. Well,
contemplate on that for a minute.
Yeah. Well, Wrecker is like, hey, we can handle the Imperials. But Crosshair goes, wait a minute. There is a terminal that we can use at one of the checkpoints. And then we can do what we need to do to find the target. And, oh, by the way, you need to drop us off. Well, the good thing is the ship does have a stealth mode, which is excellent.
Yeah.
But the way she does it.
If you want to call it that.
Hey, listen, it worked. I mean,
basically, she took a 777, right?
Mm-hmm.
A Boeing 777, and shut off all the power.
And I'm free falling.
Now, as you watch, she's sitting in the chair as calm as can be, and Bad Batch are all shitting their uniform patch.
Hunter wasn't too bad.
At the same time.
Hunter wasn't too bad. Wrecker and Crosshair, different story.
Hunter knows how to keep a straight face.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But, so there, because, just before she did it, Wrecker's like, if we get any closer to those ships, we're going to show up on their radar. They're going to see us.
Yes. Yes.
Boom. Shoo. Just dropping out of the sky.
Now, the good thing is she was able to land them on the mountain near the camp, so they didn't have to
She
travel
got them
that
off.
far.
She didn't actually land.
Well, dropped them off, but
Yeah.
got them pretty close.
Yeah. I
So-
mean, she turned the power back on and everything, and
Yeah.
when she was under the radar, I guess you could say, pulled out of the dive and was able to safely drop them off, and they took a moment to wipe their asses and moved on.
True. Well, at the same time, they get to a suspension bridge where they stun some stormtrooper sentries. And then they go to the terminal and they're like, hey, there's Rampart. This is going to be interesting. Let's do this. So they find his
Ready to bring him
location
back.
and they cut to Rampart, where Rampart is patiently, just ever so patiently, waiting for the shift to end. And that's when he has a little trouble understanding the Ognaut. And if you don't know the Ognauts, shame on you. You'll meet them again in The Empire Strikes Back, but you've seen them in the Clone Wars as well. And
Mandalorian too, right?
which one?
Mandalorian?
Yep, and in The Mandalorian, yep. Well, the Ognaut doesn't speak the same language, so Rampart's like, I don't understand you. Speak English. And then they, kick his ass and, they join the other prisoners and they go into a turbo tank and get transported to where they need to go. And Crosshair tells Hunter that Rampart is scheduled to be transported back to the prison so we can get him that way at the mining structure. And using the binoculars, he goes, well, the prison's on the other side of the bridge. So why don't we just go get him, do what we need to do? And Wrecker is like, yeah. Can we take the tank?
It's like, oh boy, we get to do this again.
But Crosshair flat out says, wait a minute. We don't want to go head on this. Here, look, here's this. And Hunter goes, well, what if we go under the tank?
Mm-hmm.
Smart.
That military freaking mind of his, man, is
Oh,
amazing.
my God.
It really is.
The stuff that he can think of, amazing.
Sign of a true leader.
True leadership right there is what we say. Well, this now becomes their rescue mission because not only are they breaking him out, but now they're going to rescue him. So on the transport, he's secured into a holding cell, and the stormtrooper tells the prison there, hey, we're on our way back. We'll see you in a little bit. Turbo Tank approaches the bridge. Hunter says, I will secure the cockpit. You two get Rampart. Okay, let's do it. They use their grappling cables. They do what they need to do. The alarms start going off, and the stormtroopers climb out of the roof to investigate.
Yeah. I love how they did this transition.
Oh, please enlighten me.
I love how they do the transition because the last thing you see the stormtrooper climbing the ladder, opening the hatch, and climbing up.
Yep.
The next thing you see is the door opening going into the cockpit.
Yep.
And the driver's like, well, what was it? Or did you find anything? Whatever. And Wrecker says something, and the guy starts to turn around, and Wrecker just knocks him out with one punch.
Plan 55.
Yeah. Possibly broke the guy's neck. The way that he just slumped over, I mean, but it was just the way they did that transition of, okay, who's coming back into the cockpit?
Yep. So,
and then Wrecker makes a statement and okay, cool. It's Bad Batch.
So here's the other thing with Plan 55, as Wrecker mentions. With Crosshair, he was able to take out three stormtroopers with one shot. And it was a ricochet.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, Wrecker took out the rest,
Right.
which is great.
Yeah.
Wow.
It was a realistic thing though, because Crosshair as they're getting ready to go through the door. Crosshair's like, Wrecker, do you remember Plan 55? And you see Wrecker kind of stand up a little bit, and you can tell he's thinking. And then he goes, "Oh yeah, Plan 55."
Yep.
Lifts his gun up, gets ready. Let's go.
Let's do this. Well, after they secure the cargo hold, which is basically the prisoner hold, Rampart recognizes Crosshair, addressing him as CT-9904. And they automatically go, "We got the target. We got him." And Rampart's like, "Are you here to kill me?" Crosshair.
I wish.
Crosshair without missing a beat. "Don't tempt me." It's tempting.
I wish that was the case.
So the clones free the other prisoners, who are allowed to disembark from the tank into the wilderness. They let them just go running. And the bridge tower control is now, let's do this. Let's blast them out. And the warden says that Transport 1 has made an unscheduled stop mid-route. Right. So now everybody's like, what the hell's going on here?
Yeah, run diagnostics on it. That was a weird command.
It really was.
It was a weird command, because sir, Transport 1 has stopped at an unscheduled stop. Run diagnostics on the communications.
Yeah.
What?
Like, why don't you just go and look for yourselves here?
Yeah, I mean, why are you going to run diagnostics on their communications when they stopped?
Yeah. Well,
that makes no sense.
It gets a little interesting because while that's all happening, Crosshair is questioning Rampart, and Rampart is questioning the boys. Because Rampart's like, "You need something from me. What's it to ya?" And Crosshair, without missing a beat, and I loved his line, "You are not in a position to bargain."
Mm-hmm.
Which is true. He's really not in a position to bargain.
Right.
But Rampart and his conniving mind, well, I'll tell you what, I'll only tell you if you get me off world.
Yeah. Like, I'll tell you what you want to know.
That way.
I'll give you what you want when you give me what I want.
Right. And he's like, simple as that. Get me off world and I'll tell you anything you want to know. And Crosshair's like, well, we want to go to Tantus. That's the information we need. And you have it.
Yeah.
Well. Then we have what's called a juggernaut. Yikes. Cannons are loaded and ready to go. They're on the bridge. The Transport 1 is now going down the bridge so fast because, why not? Let's try and jump it and take as many of them out as possible, which makes perfect sense. That's what I would do. So Hunter hits the gas.
Yeah, this was a really strange order of events.
There comes a time in any type of movie, TV show, where you have that one special person that for some reason doesn't get it. Just doesn't get it. In this case, it would be the warden. Because the warden and the technician, although doing what they're supposed to do when it comes to the computer stuff and the transport and making sure everything is in motion and doing what it's supposed to do, are watching this thing unfold on the bridge and seeing Transport 1 getting faster and faster and faster. To the point where, since it's pretty much too little too late. The warden goes, deploy the gunships, deploy this, deploy that, send out transport 2, intercept it, do what you need to do to stop it. And Hunter just breaks through the barriers. Now you would think, with military training, this warden would know what to do. Sadly, he does not. He does not.
It just makes no sense. I
I
could see what his mind was thinking, but the way events happened was just, the sequence of events was just really freaking weird here.
It really was.
I can't explain why. I can't explain what it was, but there was just something off
Just a little bit.
about it.
Just a little bit.
But continue.
It was strange to say the least. But
Yeah.
now that Transport 2 is also in the intercept mode, Hunter says, well, saddle up, boys. Let's take them out. So they start firing upon Transport 2. And even though they can't break through the armor, Hunter orders Wrecker to take out the wheels with rockets. To the point where not only does Wrecker take those out, but he uses Transport 1 and jumps Transport 2. Because it's
Transport 2 as a freaking ramp.
Yeah. And as that's happening and they land, Rampart attempts to grab a blaster, but Crosshair shoots it out of his hands and then stuns him.
That was sweet. That was sweet.
Crosshair was ready.
Crosshair got knocked on his ass too. He just recovered faster than Hunter did.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, we see some stormtroopers board a gunship, and Transport 1 goes through a second set of barriers, crosses the bridge. And once they get to the perimeter, Crosshair carries Rampart into the cockpit, and Hunter requests a pickup from Fee. So while that's happening, Wrecker is having a grand old time shooting down the gunships. Gets one of them down, it crashes, it explodes. The other gunship is going across the narrow cliffside road. And stormtroopers are like, "Yay, let's get them. Yay, we're going to be deployed. This is going to be a fun time." But was it? I mean, they did disable the cannons on Transport 1. But Hunter basically does some pretty cool driving skills. And do go flying. Flying and falling, free falling down to the bottom of a ravine. And the other one gets crushed.
I was just gonna say, when you saw him get crushed.
Oh, I know.
I watched it. I watched the episode twice today. The first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh!"
I mean,
knowing it was coming.
I mean, I saw it coming for sure.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I mean, knowing it was coming as I'm watching the show the second time, knowing it's coming, I still went, "Oh!"
It was certainly, hey, I'm gonna squish you.
That's how realistic it was.
Yeah.
That it was enough to make me flinch twice.
Truth. Well, once they take care of the other gunship, Fee takes it out, basically. And they get the clones and Rampart on board, and they get out of here. They're just done. Wrecker jumps off the turbo tank before it falls off the cliff, and Hunter and Crosshair pull him up to safety in one of those old school Western slow motion, grab him by the arms before he falls off the platform type of moves, which was phenomenal, by the way. I always thought, no, don't kill Wrecker. We like Wrecker. But he made it, which was great. while they're in the ship and they're in space, the boys decide, all right, Rampart, you're awake now. You need to uphold your side of the bargain. And the bargain was, he'll tell you everything you need to know when we're off world. So Rampart says, I don't know the coordinates to Tantus. Those were a guarded secret.
Nobody knows the coordinates to Tantus.
But we can get around it. And Crosshair goes, I'm going to send you back to prison. And Rampart, without missing a beat, we're in this together. Just makes sense. We're in it together. Well, while that's all well and good, back on Tantus, Dr. Carr is analyzing Omega's blood, and it has a high M count. And Hemlock returns to the lab just in time, and Carr says, yep, it's favorable M count replication. Hemlock, not surprised by the news, says, all right. So Omega says, well, what does that mean? And he goes, let's go for a walk. And he takes her on a walk.
Follow me and I'll show you.
Follow me. Well, while they're walking,
on that one too.
He brings her to the vault. The vault alone, heavily guarded by clone commandos, starts telling Omega about the individual's M count and how they cannot be directly replicated and how some of their testing has failed. And he's going over the whole shebang with her. And then they get into the screening room. And then he says, well, you know, Project Necromancer's experiments are mixing the samples from various specimens. But those all failed as well. And they were all M-count specimens. So now we're getting a little bit more of what Project Necromancer's doing. But then he gets to this third section, past the other clones, and she sees a wonderful white room called the Vault, where the other Force-sensitive children are. The children are playing with hologram blocks. Omega says, who are they? And Hemlock, without missing a beat, says, they are the rest of the puzzle. This is your new home.
Turns around and walks out.
He walks out. Scalder and the other scientists are up in the observation room watching. And it cuts to black. It's the end of the episode.
Did you notice the music, though?
I did. I did notice.
You noticed how the music, after it went to black, it kept going?
Yep.
For about another 3-4 seconds after they cut to black.
Absolutely.
That was weird. They've never done that.
They have not. No.
I caught that. I don't know why I caught that, but I caught that. And I'm like, wait a minute.
It was a very somber ending with the music.
Yeah. Yeah. A heck of an episode.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of stuff went on. The pacing on this episode was fast.
Very fast. I did not think it was that long.
No, it's like 22 minutes. But the pacing on it was fast. But they had the storyline to make it feel longer.
Yeah.
To me, this episode felt longer than it was.
And it was
amazing. It was one of those, wait, it's over already? You know, kind of thing. Again, you know, seeing the bravery in Omega as she's being presented to Hemlock and being taken back to the lab.
Yep.
And all that. You know, most people would just be shaking in their boots, you know, showing some kind of oh fuck kind of thing.
Sure.
Not her, stone-faced as could be.
Yep. She did very well with it.
Yeah, there's a lot to say about this episode, but I honestly I don't really have the words for it. 4.75 for a rating.
Nice.
Great episode, a lot of action. There's a whole, like I said, there's a whole lot of things I want to say about it, but I can't find the words for it, so I'm just going to leave it at that. 4.75. Great episode. Loved it from start to finish. Found the ending a little bit creepy.
But rightfully so. It needed to be
How that
creepy.
music, yeah.
It
With how
needed
that
to be
music
creepy.
just kept going.
Well, my friend, you and I are on the same page with a 4.75. I thought it was amazing. I really did. I thought it was amazing. I love that they brought Rampart back. I love that they are going after Omega. Like, they're not, this is, no, we're doing this. You're either with us or you're not. If you're not with us, bye, we're doing it anyway. So here you go. You got all these guys that are now a part of one big plan, and yet we don't even know what the plan is. They just know they got to get Omega back, and that's where things are going to go. Whew, let's do this shit. And it's going to be amazing.
They're at a point where it's last resort.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hands down.
Everything is last resort.
And it's kill or be killed. Kill or be killed. So 4.75 for me. And that, my friends, is the end of this week's Two Ewoks in the Park. Those episodes were absolutely amazing. I can't wait to talk about the next 3 episodes. Because, my God, if you thought these other 2 were fast, these go a lot faster.
I'm looking forward to them, but I am very apprehensive about them at the same time. Because of where things were left.
Makes sense. I can understand that. I can understand that. So, my friends, again, next week we are taking it off. It's Memorial Day. I hope everybody has a happy and safe Memorial Day. Remember the people that came before us and served our country. That's what it's
Bow
there for.
bow your heads in remembrance at least once.
It's not all about burgers and hot dogs, by the way.
You know, take your drink, pour a little bit out.
Have a little
remember
toast.
Those who have passed.
Salute the flag if you're a former military. And be safe. Be safe out there, folks. So
Don't
for...
drink and jive.
Okay. So for the redneck, that's JT right there. I am Sully. Thank you all for tuning in to Two Ewoks in the Park. And we will see you tomorrow for the Sully Show, which we've got a full prep sheet. And we may bring back a bit that we haven't brought back in a while because I just shocked JT earlier today with something. So I'll have to see if I can get everything that I need to in order for that to work. But we'll see. So you might want to tune in tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern, right here on Accidental Punch TV for the Sully Show. We will see you in 2 weeks for Two Ewoks in the Park. Have a great night, everybody. Be safe. We'll see you tomorrow. And may the Force be with you. Yes, may the Force be with you.